Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
I'm so excited, I can't hide it. Wait, that's a Pointer Sisters tune. So, Bell Purpose is here, you're here, I'm here, the promise is fulfilled. Two or more of us with the same mindset in one place at the same time. Something wonderful is coming. I see it. Can you see it? I know you can. Listen, welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I am a giddy, happy Lauren Michael Terrence. Today is it's kind of melancholy. A little bittersweet. Cue the music. Oh, that's right. I don't have those kind of people yet. Okay, but I'm manifesting. You best believe I'm manifesting. NBC, ABC, Fox, CBS, any of them. Right. We are here today on the last day, the 29th, the last day. Who is that calling me? Oh, they kill me, those telemarketers. Put names on their fake numbers now. Alvin Allen. You know I don't know you, Alvin Allen. Anyway, so today is the last day in October that we'll be having a show, but it's also the last day that we will be in this space with Bathrobe Moments. Monday morning, when my guest is Jessie Disco is going to be here, and we'll be coming to you live for the very first time from Imagine Studios. That's all I'm going to tell you about it. I'll see you Monday morning in Imagine Studios. Imagine that. Today, though, I'm so excited that my final guest after 6 years in this space, 6 full calendar years This isn't a show where those episodes, we say, this is season 22, and a season is like 6 weeks long. No. 50 weeks every year. You all know because you've been here. This is it. We're moving. I want to thank you all for all the support. Big day yesterday. Goldcast, I'll show you Monday morning, sent me a digital certificate. They sent me a digital certificate, but I'll take it. The Goldcast video, Lost and Found, hit 30 million views this week. And it's a milestone over at Goldcast. So they sent that. So thank you, God, for that. This little ditty, I'm going to share the screen real quick because I want to get my guest in here today. I'm so excited to have this fellow here today, Scott Goyette. He has a movement just like me with kids, loves kids. Go Love Now is his. You know, we have the Power We Symposium. Everybody's tickets go on sale Monday. Big weekend here. So I want you guys, yesterday, thank you, everything that is greater than me. Thank you. You know how you think, things are going to happen, but sometimes you think it's not too good to be true. I used to have that mindset, believe it or not. And yesterday, look at this. Let me get it right. Listen.
That's me.
Okay.
The great ignorance unfolds.
It's the Cosmo Sapiens.
We choose to go to the moon in this
The iHeartRadio show premiered yesterday.
Easy, but because they are hard.
Everybody
Wait a minute. Wait for it.
Hosted by the Galaxis Gal and Lauren Michaels Harris.
That's me.
That's me. Yay! So that happened yesterday. Yes, it did. I gotta get rid of that. Out you go. Yes. So it premiered yesterday, Cosmo Sapiens on iHeartRadio every Thursday. Oh, wait. Why don't I just let you see for yourself? And then Scott's coming in. So Scott, get ready. You guys, mark this down.
It's the Cosmo Sapiens. Hosted by the Galaxis Gal and Lauren Michaels Harris.
This is the Galaxis Gal, bringing you the stories of the human beings making space for all of us. Because just like on Earth, in space, humanity should be our business.
Everybody wants to be an astronaut.
Every Thursday and Sunday at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on iRock Space Radio.
Right? Me, who has a rule on Bathrobe Moments. Listen up, Scott Goyette. No words over 6 syllables. I'm just saying, 12th grade public education. You know, and that's the space industry. Those people, I'm not kidding. They tell you what they had for breakfast. And the first thing they ate has 16 syllables in it. I'm like, what was that? But I am learning so much. I am loving it. God is good. And you guys, never, ever put a fence around your possibilities. Don't. If somebody asks you, can you do? Yes. Maybe not right now, but give me a minute. Hey, would you be willing to? Yes. Hey, have you ever considered? Yes. You see what I'm saying? That's right. One last thing before Scott gets in here. Download that's been coming in hard and heavy. If you're going to find out about this in the P3 series, head over to my website. Head over to laurenmichaelsharris.com. Hit the blue button. You're going to see a commercial later about it. But listen, it's not enough to set your intentions. You're pulling the arrow back. The bow's ready to go, but you never release it. Once you set your intentions, you got to send them. You got to send those intentions somewhere. Don't worry about where that arrow's going to land. It's going to hit its mark. That's what truth does, and that's why the bell is here. Why? Not because it's a gimmick for the show, because the truth is like that bell. They both have a ring to them. So when you hear it, you hear that, you know what that is. You're not going to say, was that a duck? No, you go, that was a bell. So when you hear that ring, when someone tells you something, your instincts give you that feeling. I got a feeling I should stay at home. Listen to it, right? The truth has a ring to it. Help me welcome to the show my sidekick. This is my best gal. Been here all 6 years. She ain't going nowhere, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy-Ricardo. And we are drinking on some Door County, Wisconsin coffee this morning. I am back to buttered rum. I don't know why they had to put butter in it. I would have been happy with just rum. But anyway, you guys, Scott Goyette, I came across him. He's friends with Christopher Rouse. You guys remember Christopher's coming to the Power We Symposium. Going to be one of my badasses, because you know he's a badass. I see they've done some stuff together, Scott and Christopher. And I went in and I took a look. I want to show you guys really quickly. Let me get it powered up. Look at this. Look at this. You know how I feel about when people do stuff with our kids And, you know, I'm going to just keep it real. You know how I don't play with it. I mean, I've run across places where people say they're going to do things for kids, and it ain't about the kids. It ain't. You get there and it's all, the kids are over in the corner, or you never see a kid there. You see them on the posters, but you don't see them there. What I love about this guy and his team is this. They put their heart where their mouths are. They put their mouths where their hearts are. And I'm going to show you. Look at this. You guys get over. Mark this down. Sherry McQueen, you're our statistician. Make sure you grab the link for this. Go Love Now and put it in there so everybody can go over and check this out. Take a look, you guys. You're going to love this. I do. Okay, here's a little video. Watch.
Hi, I'm Scott Goyette, and I love what I do. I love to help kids, and I love to be passionate about life. We want to challenge you guys to redefine the word love. We want you to take action today and go out and love others and yourself, starting right now.
Difference doesn't have to create division.
I want you to say which one relates to us, and then be honest how many you got right.
Was it Earl?
Watch the kids' faces, you guys. Watch their faces.
Who ate 161 of the spiciest chicken wings in the world just to prove? It was me.
We're going to give you an opportunity to understand and identify that not everything is as it appears.
The labels you put on yourself become your reality. I don't care what they say. You define you. Really, you can't love others until what? You gotta love yourself.
They say once you love yourself, you can start loving others.
A situation doesn't define who you define who you are.
They said act for others, like act for kindness for others.
If we show kindness to others, they'll show kindness to more, and that brings joy and happiness to everyone around.
You can really relate to them.
There's just a vibe that I really liked about them.
I would recommend them to every school in the country, in the world, everywhere.
Love it. Awesome. You know, you didn't get the video red carpet, which is the countdown clock for a first timer. This is much better. Welcome, Scott Goyette. So glad you're here. Say hello to everybody out there. Tell them where you're at in the world, and let's get into it.
Let's do it. So I am in Austin, Texas, smack dab in the middle of this beautiful country of ours. And even though sometimes we think there's a divide, got to get somebody right in the heart of Texas to make sure that we keep all this good stuff going.
I know that doesn't sound like the song. So you're actually in Texas? Oh yeah, Austin.
So I grew up in Boston, but I moved to Austin, Texas 25 years ago. So. Oh
my God, you're from Massachusetts. I grew up in a town called Peabody.
No, you didn't.
I know I didn't. You did. I want to see your face. You're like, there's only one black guy there, and it wasn't you.
I was like, where were you?
You know, it's too right. I was going to say, but I did.
No, you should have run with that.
Plain. Have you ever heard of Jamaica Plain?
Yes.
I lived there for a minute.
Yep.
Couple years.
Not too far.
Yes, I love Massachusetts. Beautiful place. Cold as a witch's, you know what? But yes, very nice. So listen, let's tell everybody what you do. Because you got you're well. You want me to read your resume, or you just want to tell them? I mean,
I'll give you a brief overview.
Yeah, go and do it.
So the 2-minute overview is, you know, like all of us, you know, you're doing something that you were told to do. You know, my identity was built upon, you know, you're good at something and people keep saying, go make money, go earn, go do all these things. And you get locked in that the most important thing in the world is to buy the big house, have the white picket fence, do all these things that are supposed to resume builders. And the 2-second story is I worked my butt off, did reasonably well in business and in sales, and I felt insanely unfulfilled because I was looking at the world around me saying, okay, so I have this stuff, but am I really dialing in and living my mission and my purpose? And I just didn't feel I was. And so I love what you were saying where, you know, something shows up and that bell rings and somebody says, hey, can you? This stuff all literally started was somebody asked me, they said, do you do anything for kids? I love your messages. You're always sharing something about positivity. And guess what my answer was, Lauren? Yes. And so suddenly I'm doing a speech for kids. Then somebody said, hey, do you do speeches for conferences? I love your message. And I said, yes. And they said, what's your rate? And I'm like, $1,000. I didn't know what to say.
Right.
That's really low. And I'm like, damn it.
I know.
Sales. Don't leave money on the table.
Look, real quick,
So-
I remember that. I went and I met with a woman. Her name was Charlie Jackson. I'll never forget it. And it was my first big gig, not that $300 an hour, you got a proposal. And I had 2 files. The go for it one and the chicken shit one.
Yep.
And I reached in and I gave her the go for it one. And I thought, I made it past that bullet. And then she looked at it. She opened the file and she went, Lauren. And I was like, oh, man. She goes, are you sure this is enough? I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? But you know why? And it's kind of a good thing. Scott, tell me how you feel about this. I think people need to understand, once you realize that your message is priceless, that, every syllable, you have lived it. And, people would believe that if our tears were words. If our tears and hurts and heartaches and betrayals were words, imagine what we would think or know about our journey. So you started and you just built it. You went through it. Now listen, looking at you, you look like the guy who has everything. You look like athletic. We see a basketball that's all signed back there. We see a football. You look like you're in great shape. You got TV star hair. You're not ready for any Botox or filler shit, but don't judge. So what? I had some 2 weeks ago. I'm just saying, I have to try it. I had tried. VA said I could get it free. I went over and tried it. I don't like it though, because you can still feel it in there. I was like, oh no. But anyway, Scott, talk to people about how things are not always what they seem, but you know where I'm going with this.
100%. No. It's a perfect question. It's one that, I talk about quite often is you follow, your identity gets built by other people unintentionally. No one's trying to do anything bad. No one's trying to do anything at all. They're just doing what they're taught. And so my whole life and many of our whole lives, we were put where we were thought we should be. So like you said, like I was the athlete who, you're doing the work, you're getting the good grades, you get your scholarships, you get a scholarship to grad school, everything's going according to the plan. You're right on track.
And then you make a bunch of scholarship.
I played basketball in college too. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then I got to go play in Mexico after that, which was amazing. So
how tall are you?
6'4.25".
You are?
Yeah.
You look short in your profile picture, but it's really just a floating head. I don't get it. But
yeah. Wow. No, Chris Roush, when we first met each other, he's like, what the hell? He's like, when we're sitting next to each other, we look tall, and he's like 6'2", and he's like looking out. He's like, what the hell's going on?
Wow, so, Scott, I would have never. Go on. Interesting stuff.
So what we do is we have everybody's expectations of what we should be. And it's to your point, your mom and dad have your best interest in mind. Whoever your guardians have your best interest in mind. They're just showing you, hey, there's something that you could become based on their understanding. And one of the craziest things in the world is to stop looking outside for answers. And I know this will resonate with you, and look inside for answers. And so when you're looking inside saying, what am I really supposed to be? What is my soul, my higher self expect me to become that I can become? And a lot of us miss that. And I share something very simple that, again, I know will resonate with you is if source, God, universe, creator, put whatever you want to call it, if it was consciousness and it's about to start existence, it can't pull from anywhere but itself if it's everything to create this existence. So you have to be part of that source. So you're a perspective point, a fractal, a component of the creator itself. Yep. So for you to say that you're not infinitely possible with no boundaries, everything that you were saying is absolutely trash. But the problem is we start with limits. You're just a guy, you're just a girl, you're just this color, you're just that nationality, you're just this religion, you're just all these justs. There's no cap on anything. What do you get to pay, to be a speaker? I put a cap. I said 1,000 because I had no idea. You put a cap when you say a number. What we've got to do is we've got to let that power within come out and let that value create itself. And one of the easiest ways to do that, as crazy as it sounds, is to stop for a moment, be present with yourself and listen. And most of us are going, I need that degree. I need that. I need to listen to this show. I need to listen to that show. And here's the thing. You and I can help people to nurture and, water those seeds. But at some point, you've got to allow the growing to occur organically because you are everything. You are infinitely possible. You are the most amazing human in the face of the earth. And that was being contained when I'm out doing sales or things. So the 2-second summary is I fell asleep one night and I just didn't feel satisfied making money doing sales. I'm not joking with you. I woke up the next morning and there's a notepad and it says LOVEFEAR and go love now. And so it turns out I had taken an Ambien, thought I fell asleep, but I wrote down golovenow.com, bought the domain name. I created the acronym LOVE, which is listen. So it's listen, observe, voice, and empathize. And fear is forgive, eliminate beliefs and programming no longer serving you, accept yourself and others where they're at in the journey, and rise up and be resilient. And that's the basis of the whole Go Love Now program that was literally created while I was sleeping. So
I believe it.
So here's the deal. I finally just said, I give up, I surrender, and I just allowed the universe to speak into me. Now, I didn't know what to do with this. So it took me probably 5 years to figure out how to plug this in and nurture it and water it. But that's what the spawn of the Go Love Now program was me not looking out there, me somehow connecting in here and allowing the universe to speak through me. And I know you get that. And I know your audience gets that. Let
me tell you something. Ooh, download right now. I just wrote it down. I'm going to use it. It's going up on the wall of purpose. You don't know about the wall of purpose, do you?
Not yet, but I will right now.
Over there. All of those Post-it notes, those are downloads. And I'm writing a book called Divine Downloads. And all those and hundreds others are going to be in there. But the great thing about those things are all those manifest into the things behind me and all around this house. And so that is just an incredible story about how you didn't know, but you were there, because our subconscious and conscious worlds, when we're in subconscious world, it doesn't know the difference. That's why I found out I used to pee in the bed when I was a kid. I really thought I was at the toilet until, but
exactly.
It felt so real.
Yep.
And then you start reading people like Mozart and Amadeus, all these different people were bedwetters. Because, that world is so connected. But here's the deal. When you said, and I didn't realize this until it came out of your mouth. When you say give up, give in, that is dying to something that isn't serving us. That's because the thing about it is when you allow that first word, which is a positive, which is an inclusive, give, it is of service. Give is of service. It ain't take. You don't never say, I take up or, take in. Unless it's with a seamstress or somebody. But think about it. If you say give up or give in, people think it's a defeatist comment. No, but when you give in to what is greater than you, when you give up what is not serving you and say, I'm giving this up so I can pick up what I need, not what I want any longer. I'm going to tell you something about you that I knew the minute I looked at you. Because I know you've never opened up your front door. So a lot of people waiting to tell you this. So I'm going to get in where I can fit in. And here it is. I'm telling you, everything about you is crystal clear. That's why you're like, I got a 2-minute recap. Here it is. You didn't list out all the names of the degrees and drop some names and all of that stuff we think we need to do. You just went into an experience. A thing about how I was sleeping, you didn't even take the credit, really. And I know because I say that about Power Week, because Power Week came about because I had partnered with a marketer, didn't know, first time I was going to do an event. And, they made it into one of those pay to play things. And when I saw all the stuff backstage that was going on, you don't want to mess with her. She ain't got a pot to piss in. This and the other. Don't talk to that lady. She'll waste your time. She ain't trying to buy a program. All this stuff I watched, and I got on the plane to come home, and I put my headset on. I said, God, you need to give me a mouthful of spiritual Listerine so I can swish this funky-ass taste out of my mouth. And I said, replace it. That's what I said. Replace it with what it should taste like. And when I landed in O'Hare, the Power of We Symposium was with me. And that's the truth. And here we are getting ready to do our third one. It looks similar. What you do, it's all about that heart-to-heart, knee-to-knee, eye-to-eye, soul-to-soul connection with our kids. And, tell us. So you already answered that question because I was like, just like the Challenger, and Kennedy, if you're old enough to know, we all remember where we were when we heard it. I know you would remember. I knew you would remember where you were. Yep. Go Love Now came through you. and didn't come from you. And talk about that. How you felt when you stared at that notepad and were connecting the dots about, wait a minute. I bet you went and double checked. Did I really buy that domain? Did this really happen? And then tell us about the very first time it was reality.
So yeah, that's the beautiful question too. And here's the thing, and I want everybody to understand this, and I know you'd share in the belief with this, is it's all about being. We're not human doings, we're human beings. And so the moment we stop, and remember this, I'm out selling, I'm out saying I'm a good athlete. And when I say saying it, I'm forcing it. I've got to go still be a good athlete. I've got to be like the cool husband. I got to be the people everybody, knows at the bar. Like you're always trying to like do all these things to be something instead of just being. And the moment that I think my soul calmed down enough, or my human calmed down enough to connect and understand that I am the soul, I am a bigger, higher self, that's when this came through me, but I didn't know how to receive it. So what I would challenge everybody here to think about is this. There's a very good chance, not a very good chance, it's 100% guarantee your soul's been knocking on your human door saying, look at me, see me, be aware of me, be aware of your infinite potential. That arrow that's being held back, it's literally just sitting right here, right now, going, let go, let go.
I'm moving down so y'all can see my arms because I'm getting chilled. Seriously.
So I'm going to share with you the acronym that I share all the time, and it's very similar, but it's one that's really nice to resonate with. Let's just say that this is a beautiful tree of life. And so my whole existence, I'm sitting next to this tree and I look up at it. It gives me fruit. It's giving me shelter. It's giving me shade. It's right next to this river. I bathe in this river. I play in this river. I get fish from this river. This is my home and I love it. And it's my comfort. It's my certainty. It is beautiful. But I see that this river is starting to rise, and I can predict what's going to happen because I notice that this river is getting higher and higher. But I'm never going to leave this tree. I'm going to go down with this ship. This is the thinking of I will hold on to yesterday, and maybe something served me to date. Maybe what I've been doing has worked for me, but as I start to become more aware, I need to free up that space from that tree. I need to say that this is not where I'm going to be anymore. Home is where the heart is. It's much bigger than sitting with that tree. The hardest thing we can do as human beings is to trust what's inside. And when I notice the river's rising, I recognize that. That's that ding. That's that release. I've got to jump in the river while the river's not raging and surrender to the universe, surrender to my truth, surrender to the message that's dropped down that's become Go Live Now. Flow into that river. There will be another tree and it will have new information. That's that space. The scariest thing is to take a chunk out of us and have open space and feel vulnerable. But that's where our growth comes from. And so we see it in slogans in the country right now. We see it in people's voices. They're trying to say, I want what was yesterday back. The world shouldn't and doesn't work that way for a reason. I'm going to say it this simply. There's something beautiful about out there in our infinite potential. We have a total capacity to be creator, be everything we've ever wanted to be. And that's what was dropped into me with Go Live Now. But guess what? I looked at it in that morning, was totally dialed in, heart-centered, and I ran back to my sales job because I didn't know what to do with it. And I went and sold a bunch more stuff, probably got a car or mountain bike or whatever you're buying at the time, still unfulfilled, but coming back and forth. So I had one foot in the river, holding the tree, going, okay, should I go in this river? Hi, tree. Oh, get some fruit. Oh, okay. And finally, when I jumped into that river and said, I'm not going to work in the sales capacity anymore. I'm going to start doing the speaking. I'm going to start working with kids. I started to get the fulfillment. But guess what happens at first? You don't make as much money as you want. Fear sets in. All the things in that model of love over fear, I'm being challenged. And I'm being told, you're stupid. You're throwing away your old identity. What's wrong with you? And guess what that was? The old inner critic saying, you're not enough, which you've been defending the whole time. And the minute I just laid on my back and said, I'm going to float down this river, the universe finally said, now I'll take care of you. Do I go back and forth and want to swim back upstream and go back up to the tree? Guess what? I do, because I'm a human being. But my heart, not my ego, not my mind, my heart always tells me, stay in flow, stay in trust, keep in service, and you're going to be fine. And guess what? when I stick with that, I'm not only always fine, I'm more than fine. I mean, you heard that last girl who said they should speak everywhere around the universe. There's 5 or 10 or 20 of her every single place running up to us going, you just changed my life. We have people, I mean, you know how this works. Some girl will run up and say, I was literally going to kill myself today. I had a note and I didn't because of you. You do that once. I'm never getting out of that river again.
And you know, I love you guys heard it just, I think, a couple weeks ago in the download. This river thing that happened with me probably a couple months ago, and I let all of the viewers in on it a couple of weeks ago, because, you know, I always make sure it's just not a thumb drive thing. I make sure before, when it gets on the hard drive, then I put it out. So, but I was told, you know, the same thing, Lauren, let's make this easier. This has always been easy, but let's make it easier, because I'm a true proponent, a true champion of the E and the R. I get up every day. If I'm alive, I'm awake. That means I'm already great. I'm greater than the one who did not wake up. I'm greater than the one that woke up and can't talk, whatever it is. But because if you're happy with where you start, because you got to be grateful first, all you got to do is go and look for an E and an R. You take bold to bolder, bright to brighter, strong to stronger, great to greater. And so we are co-authors in this story that we're writing, our never-ending story, with what is greater than us. Now, I was told, Lauren, listen, you have one job. That is, you are the riverbed. All that comes through you is the water. It's the living water. It flows. It's the flow. Your only job is to keep it free of dams. Just make sure nothing's stopping the water, because when it stops, it starts stagnating, bacteria, nothing can grow in it, you know, da-da-da. But the minute you take a dam out, life begins immediately. So absolutely right. And I encourage all of you to keep pouring your living waters out into the world until you get, you know, you might, and this is another thing, you have to be willing to know that you may spend the rest of your days doing exactly what Scott just described. And that person may not walk up and say to you, you guess what happened because of you. And you got to still be willing to do it. You see what I'm saying? Whether you hear back or not, you shoot the arrow. It's like a message in a bottle.
Trust.
You know, you put it out there, you know, somewhere, somebody's going to find it. So, Scott, let's talk about what people, I know you deal with this, and let's talk about this. How when people try to make you bigger than you are, and you know that uncomfortableness that comes with it when they're like, ooh, and you know they're talking about all the things that you're like, but that's not the important. I know, yeah, that happened and I did that, but that's not the thing that's important. You know what I'm talking about. Talk about how you stay grounded in what matters and not what, because you know how it feels when you see people making a big deal about the things that are, like you said, the things, but not about that thing that they truly are missing. And they don't know how to ask what it is.
I teach this. So I also teach college business. And what I do to my students is I literally pump myself up like with intention, almost kind of as a joke. And I say, what would make you guys take this class? Would you take it because I had an MBA and had the most prestigious scholarship to receive that MBA in Texas? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, what about if I had a record sales year and I was the best salesperson at 3 different companies? And they're like, yes. And so I go through all these accolades like you're talking about. And they're like, that's what I want to sign up for. And I go, I'm going to tell you the truth. What I'm going to sell you during this class, what I'm going to give you during this class is magic. And it's got nothing to do with why I got those things. I got those things because I was the ultimate conformist at that time. And then I ask him this, I say, would you want a CEO to come in here and, you know, tell you about like what it means to be successful in business? And so I pick a few CEOs, and I don't pick some of the obvious ones. I pick, you know, a handful of CEOs that have, you know, a lot of production and whatever within their companies, and everybody wants them in. And so then I back up and I start telling them about what things really look like. And I talk about this thing called autopilot. And I say that autopilot is the thing that takes you from point A to point B and puts you on track to become what this world wants you to become. So autopilot will take you up to the elevator to the 50th floor of humanity without spirituality. So what do I mean by that? A CEO is just the best slave on the planet who's followed autopilot to the bank. He or she was put into this place by other people, because I'm going to tell you what I learned on an airplane. The first time I ever sat in first class, I got upgraded and I'm, 20 years old. I'm doing some sales event, maybe 22, probably fresh out of college. And there's a guy next to me. I'm like, what do you do? He's like, I'm an investment banker. I'm a CEO for this company, whatever. And I'm so impressed with him. I'm like, tell me more. So while he's drinking his drinks, I said, what makes an amazing CEO? And I'll never forget this. He goes, you've got to push every one of your employees to the brink that they almost quit every day, and you get every last bit out of them, and then give them just enough to stay. And I remember kind of like half of me was like, wow, that's genius. And half of me going, what is wrong with you? And I don't remember his name. I remember just processing it, going, what? And so then I realized you are just a slave who is literally listening to so many people saying, work as hard as you can, give your life to the system. You're willing to be the manager of the system while in the system. And so your enslavement says, I have to get the best car, the biggest house, the biggest everything. I'm going to work 80 hours for this company, managing those people. So you're a slave driver to slaves themselves. And it's crazy. And once I saw that, to your point, once I saw that, I said, I'm not going to teach that. I'm going to teach the freedom of how to step out of autopilot and share what I call your brilliance. Some might call your genius, your purpose. The minute you sink into that moment of being, it might not happen immediately, but you start to feel it. The Go Love Now message will start to drop in. Your message, Lauren, will start to drop in. Power We, all these things, something starts to drop in, and then you go, ding, ding, ding. Start sharing that, and then the universe will create new boundaries. The worst thing that could happen is the top 5 regrets of the dying, the book. People, the top regret is 90-something% of people right before they pass realize they didn't live enough for themselves or to share their brilliance. So it's everything that I'm talking about. If almost every person on this planet just before passing, and a hospice nurse, palliative care nurse had asked these people, what's your number one regret? And they say, not living enough in my brilliance or for me. If we know that everybody's doing that, how do we avoid that? That's what I teach. I teach people how to find the magic, how to share their brilliance, understand that if creator was consciousness and made them, they are creator. Share that with the world, allow that to come out, keep flowing down the river, realize you are the riverbed, let everything flow through you, let that energy go, just start letting it go, let it go, stop the blockers, stop listening to this person saying there's limits, stop the inner critic saying there's limits. It's all a lie that allowed you to forget that you are source.
There you go. Listen, everybody, now's a great time. Take advantage of it. You will be blessed in the manner in which you bless others. We're going to go to a short break, and when we return, I hope that you've shared this broadcast with at least one other person. It's a modern-day Stone Soup story, so bring whatever you have when we come back, because we're going to go a little bit deeper with Scott Goyette when we talk about this brilliance, and I have a feeling he's going to share something with you that's going to unlock a door, because the time for you to shine is now. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Oh, there we are, but we're not back yet. Hello, and hello. I am here because I need to have a little talk with you. My name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm here to personally invite you to come in and experience a 90-minute free preview of my latest work. It is, I don't want to just say it's a program but it's the culmination of my latest work. And I call it P3, Purpose, Patience, and Passion. Have you ever been in the position where you know something through and through 1,000% with no proof? What about this one? When you found yourself at that fork in the road of your journey, and to the left and to the right are two different opportunities, but you can feel some of everything, good, bad, and everything in between. But you stayed stuck. It didn't take either. It belongs to all of us simply because we are. So join me, won't you, for this 90-minute free preview of P3, the Journey series. Just come in and check it out. Come in and be a part of the conversation. Let's heal. Let's learn. Let's go. See you inside. Click the button. world. Here we go. Today's weekly sponsor, V8. Make a great choice. Dump the power drinks. Dump the Diet Coke. I did, and I reach for this every day. Seriously. And not just because it's free now. I'm serious. I'm being real with you. Why? 60 calories. Love it. 100% vegetable juice. Love it. 2 full servings of vegetables. Love it. And easy to find. Even better. Just go straight down the juice aisle at your local grocery store and you'll find it. In my store, they got it sitting right next to the juice boxes. So there you go. Don't say, oops, I could have had a V8. Say, boy, am I glad I had my V8. Scott Goyette, you ever had a V8?
I think they lowered the sodium in those too, actually, if I recall correctly. That was the big complaint about V8 was, okay, I get it, but too much sodium preservatives, and they've actually made it better. Yeah. And they have the V8 energy drink, and I study all this stuff. So the answer, if it's got to do with food, I've looked at it, I've tried it, and I think it's a good product. I've got my own that I'm not going to share and compete, but I will say this, that's far better than Diet Coke.
Yeah,
now that they lowered the sodium, get on board, try one.
That's right. And small changes, because see, you probably have something that can help me get even closer to the core of what I need and not what I want. And that's why we have illuminated conversations, not just here on the show, but every day and everywhere you go. So, Scott, I know you have it, and I know there's someone out there sitting there biting their fingernails, hoping that you push a button. And so here we go. For that person, those people, those of us, and I include myself, who, they sit and they watch people that do what we do and they go, boy, that sounds so good. But I remember when I was that guy. How do I make that work for me? But I have this wrong. This is off. I can't this. I don't have that. What is it that you truly believe got you once and for all free of that, that it's like when you step on a hot piece of gum. On the you can pull your foot away and it's going to stretch. You try to wipe it off and it's putting it in the grooves of the shoe even further. How did you free yourself from that hot, sticky tarmac and that nasty piece of bubblicious that was keeping you stuck?
Oh, easy answer. Easy answer there. And this is why they're easy answers. And you're going to like this too. It's this simple. When you look at somebody else and say, I want to be like that, you're missing the point in comparison. What you're not realizing is life is mirrors, okay? So if somebody looks at you or I and say, well, you guys are gregarious and you're extroverts and you're go-getters, that's not me. And then you put your head down. I get it because the people that we're shown look different than us. But what you're not realizing is what's bringing you to this show is the similarities between Lauren and myself. You're being brought here by the universe to recognize in you what's in us. Now, here's the differentiator. You what's that?
Is that the law of attraction?
Law of bingo, bingo, bingo.
Frequency?
And so,
right.
Yeah, you're here because you're supposed to be here. And you're not here to compare. You're here to illuminate the beauty in you. So let's say that you're an introvert and you define success by being an extrovert. What you've got to start understanding is the universe creator doesn't make introverts and extroverts by accident, doesn't make one better than the other. They're making, he's making, she's making, it's making all of us different for a purpose. Imagine this. If I'm a kidney and I'm saying, but I don't pump blood, I'm not as good as the heart. Is that true? It's absolutely not true because the kidney filters this blood to make sure that it's free from debris or all the negative things or toxins. So there's a massive purpose for that. But we start comparing ourselves to the heart. Here's what I would challenge you guys to do. If there's something, go ahead.
I want them to sit up. First, I'm gonna hit the bell. This could be it. This could be it, you guys. So, hold on. I want to make sure. I just want to make sure we got it. What we're doing is enhancing the opportunity. So, here come the tips.
Let's do it. So, this is what I would start thinking about. Stop comparing yourself to others and saying, I want to be a heart when you're a kidney. I would also do this. If you see something in somebody else that you like, rather than say, I can't, like if Lauren was just specifically said that gratitude is the foundation of everything, just ask yourself, am I a grateful person? Because gratitude is massive. And if you're sitting here saying, I'm not enough or whatever, does that sound like someone who's grateful? Because here's the deal. You're breathing, you're alive. You took the steps to get here and get more information. you're already in a good place. Start with gratitude for that. Okay. Then maybe Lauren or myself says something like, you're brilliant. And you say, no, I'm not. And the inner critic from yesterday, from somebody else's voice that you're speaking in your own, start saying, I'm not enough. Just start to believe. Jump from that tree and get in that river and just say, I am the river. I am the riverbed. I'm going to allow the flow of all information and love and all the beauty in the universe to become me, and just believe that you're enough. So even if nothing else, just recognize I can be these things I like in somebody else. I already am those things. Recognize you have all opportunity to be everything that you want to be. That's already inside of you. You're already totally divine. There's no limits. So if you just wipe away the negativity that you've allowed to attach to you, which is not your truth, that alone will guarantee you're on the right path to becoming the brilliant you that you can be. So if you just stop attaching or allowing the attachment of this negativity and just look in others. So in other words, if everybody's a mirror, if I'm a mirror and there's something you like in me, magnify that. It's in you, or you wouldn't recognize it. If there's something you go, he's kind of annoying and he talks too much. Why are you seeing that? Could you be doing the same thing?
Right.
So use everybody else as a lesson to enhance you. That's what we're all here for, to help each other grow. And that's it.
Stewardship. That's exactly right. So I want to, we do a little speed round thing from time to time, but they have to be ninjas in order to perform this. And I consider you a ninja. I want to say this in all seriousness. You know, you guys have heard me say this before, but it's not something I say all the time. You know, we meet people along the road of our journeys, and we know, like, oh, if we were t-shirts and we looked at the tags, we go, oh, look at that. We're both Hanes. We both came from the same manufacturing plant. But sometimes, especially when you're wearing that peacock suit, you know, it's got peacocks all over it, the swatches get thrown on the table, and you go, wait a minute. Not only did we come from the same manufacturing plant, but when we scoop these two pieces of fabric together, we find out that we were also cut from the same bolt of cloth. Because here, I got half the peacock on this swatch, you got the other half, you scoot them together and you go, wow, look at that. And I know you understand what that means. And the reason I said that right there, and the reason I put share right now with another person, because God, I'm telling you, I know you're the truth. I absolutely know it. Everything you're saying is in alignment with everything I was always been told. And my only job in this chair every day is to show everybody, tell you what they've shown me, or show you what they've told me, and let it come through me and not from me. And you get that. So I'm going to tell you something. There's a spot for what you're doing with Go Love Now. There's a spot for you guys at the Power of We Symposium. I'd like to talk to you about that. You know, if it's a vendor space, then we'll gift it to you. If you guys want to come, I really would love you guys to do one of the breakout rooms with your Go Love Now thing, and give our kids here in Chicago a taste of what, and also bring you to the attention of these administrators here in the Chicago public school system, that there is more. Because when I go and I meet with them, they always say, it's so hard for us to find. You know, yeah, we got snowball events and stuff, but this is deeper. This is deeper. Go Love Now is deeper. And so I'm so grateful for what you're doing. But I'm going to throw some ideas, if you will, on the screen, and give me, let me see, we got 10 minutes. So give me a 1 minute or less rabbit gut punch back about what it truly means to you in your world today. First one.
Daily grounding. Beautiful question. So, or comment. One of the things that we all need to do is realize that we're higher self and we're also a human. And for all of us, when we start to dive deeper into what we are as a human being, as a spirit, we sometimes lose grounding. We feel like we don't know what we are. So here's the deal. You as spirit created this opportunity to live in this human body. Understand that you're part of that creation. So how do we ground? What is it that gives us life? It's breath. And so source, God, universe, creator is in our breath. So there's no better way to ground than just remember what you are. Just feel that breath. Just allow that to flow through you. Allow that to cleanse you. Breathe out the negative, breathe in the positive, come back to center and realize this. Everything is the present moment. Everything that you said yesterday, I'm not enough. I can't do this. I can't get through this day. Start new with that breath, clean new breath. This vehicle that looks like Scott or that looks like Lauren is a vehicle. You're way bigger than that. The grounding is understanding that, but embracing and taking care of the vehicle in the moment.
Nice. Ding.
Embracing the unseen. Now we can tap into that we were just saying. So here's one of the things I always say. When you talk about self, instead of saying I am self, Lauren is self, the two of us are self, I say extend the sense of self. And I always talk about this. Extend the sense of self, not to just me, not to just my tribe, not to just my extended tribe, not to just humanity. I always say all things seen and unseen. So what does that mean? All right. We've got unlimited connection to everything in existence. So embracing the unseen. It's very simple. I talk about this. So here's creator, God, universe, consciousness. In the expansion of breath, we just talked about breath. Maybe Jesus, Gandhi, Buddha, whoever the most close to the light sit here and closest to the darkness sit here. You're still all part of the same exact thing. And there's support mechanisms with that breath. Maybe we're particles of water in that breath. Maybe there's energy in that breath. But what's happening is everything in here is still part of that source, creator, God, universe, all of it. And so when we embrace the unseen, what we're doing is we're realizing we are literally a component of creator. And for us to live in this world and have experience, we have to have contrast, and we have to essentially forget that we're all of it so we can become a single part of it to have that experience. So listen to that again. I know that's a lot. For you to truly embrace, experience, and feel in this world, you need to forget at some level that you're source, because then you don't differentiate. We've differentiated to feel. And as the breath comes back, we can recall our oneness. That's what's happening right now.
Oh, you know about the oneness. Okay. So, see, those are guttural things. You all know. We'll get into that.
I know. So removing toxic influences. Okay, we just talked about oneness. So here's the simple reality. If this, as I talked about the breath, if this were separated into different frequencies or vibrations, there is oneness. But although an understanding, somebody here in this dark space, this darker space, because they're further from the light, just because we grew up with them and we elevated in our consciousness, or we elevated our vibration or our brilliance, at some point, if we allow the attachment to those toxic influences to stay, we're not going to be in a great place. I'm going to say this the simplest way possible. This is a very hard thing for people. You always hear people say the 4 people who are closest to you, the top 5 people you're hanging out with, you'll become that.
Yeah.
Well, it's this simple. Once you have an awakening moment or a conscious moment and you want to hang out with or connect with people who are more like-minded, because it happens naturally, to your point, feel like the same cloth, you all know, you're like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. You don't need to say, I don't like those people. They're stupid. They're not enough. They do dumb things. This is the reality. They're in their space of breath. They're part of you. Here's how to be in service to them. And removing the toxic influences, it happens like this. You need to become the light and just continue to lead by example. You don't need to turn back and say, what's wrong with you? Do this. You can throw a comment out there and you can say, hey, what would your life look like if this changed? But they have to answer that themselves. You can't say, you need to do this, you need to do that. They will never change. The best thing to do is leave your friends back where they are. Be like Matt Damon and Good Will Hunting. Just go share your brilliance. If they're supposed to be connected to you still, they will be. And that's how life works. That's jumping in the river. They'll follow if they realize they're going to drown next to that tree. It's not your responsibility. And it's hard to process that. But once you do and realize we're all together anyway, you're never leaving them. You're actually leading the way. So eventually they and or their DNA, their ancestry will be able to follow. But you cannot drag them with you.
Cannot. Or let them drag you somewhere other.
100%. I don't know if you guys know anything about lifeguarding, but the first thing you're taught when you try to save somebody is listen to this. You don't go grab them. you go try to turn them over so they have to surrender so it doesn't drown you. And if they start to grab you, you physically kick them away. So you're literally getting them to break away. They have to release and surrender to you. So what happens with people is we try to go help them and they drag us under and kill us in the attempt to save them. So you can do one of two things. Come with me. If they can't, you literally got to wait to a point that they're totally surrendering so you can turn them over and bring them in so they don't drown you too. It's much the same.
Goodness. That happened in 4th grade. Lucy Crespo at our
grab onto you.
Picnic. Yep. Was a girl next to her started to drown, and Lucy Crespo went over, and she was a great swimmer, went over to help her and ended up being the one who drowned for that very reason. You're absolutely right. Wow. Okay. Here we go.
Defending our territory. You don't have to. you don't have to. And this is a tough one. And I could go into depth, but I want to just say it this simply. When I've got something that I believe and I'm trying to represent, being the light versus constantly saying, I'm right, or whatever it is. Let's say it's politics. Let's say there's a time and a place for a fight. Like even in Buddhism, they talk about it's peace, peace, peace. And then there's a time and a place to put up hands. And you want to make that the last resort. So I would say when we're defending our territory, man, this is probably the toughest one right now because there's an acceptance piece that comes in here. We've got to accept others where they're at in the journey. So if they're doing something that seems combative or they're making no sense, we've got to just try to figure out, can I allow them to keep doing that? Or is it really, are they on my land? And I'm using this figuratively, are they on my land? And at what point do I do something? And this is the one I'm struggling with the most right now because there's a lot of people, and I'll just throw some of the info out there because people resonate with this. There's people that I thought we were on the same page, we're cut from the same cloth, and now they have a different perspective that's hardcore about science or hardcore about religion or hardcore about a politician where I'm going, do I even know you? And so, and we all know what's going on right now.
Yes.
So to defend the territory, at what point does their knowledge, their information supersede actual fact and knowledge? And when do I have to say, no, time out? So what I do to defend my territory is I always put out facts. I always put out information that you can argue with me, but this is just facts. And I'll just put back, I love you. But there's points where I'm getting to like, no. You can't say that because that's complete misinformation and you're not in service of people anymore. And so this is not a 60-second one. This is one that we need to have a whole show on people talking about, in my opinion.
Yes. Amen. And give us just a little bit on this one.
Power of you, beautiful. Very simple. We just said it. Okay. If you are a co-creator and you are a perspective point or fractal of source, I don't need to say anything else. You are infinitely powerful, period. There's nobody that can stop you from being the best you possible except for you. And that's it.
Absolutely right. Dinging the bell on that. If you, and I know you do, even now, or those of you who will be watching the replay, would like to continue this dialogue, and I certainly hope you do, with Scott Goyette, you can find him right here at scottgoyette.com, or if Instagram's your jam, here it is. Go Love Now Movement is on Instagram, and I've even got more. Here it is. theunfilteredexperience.com. I think that's where they can find out about your coaching.
Yeah, Chris too.
And okay. Oh yeah, that's
Chris
right.
Is on
that's
that too.
What you two do together.
Yeah, that's the one we do together. We'll get you on, and then Scott Goyette is where you can learn about the coaching. We teach raise your vibration. Everything I just said is embedded in there. So
well, since Chris and I didn't even think about that, but you know he's already committed to come to the Power We.
Yep.
So
we'll talk.
Yeah. There we go. I want to take this moment to first, before I get to you all out there, is to thank you, Scott. Because it was interesting to me that this Friday spot had stayed open so close to the date. And with it being the last time in this space, I said something wonderful, something anointed has already been chosen for this spot. I'm just going to wait until they say, here you are. And when I opened up my eyes and my heart to that, there you were. And so I'm so grateful that you were here today to make this final one after six wonderful years sitting in this space. You put quite an exclamation point at the end of this 6-year sentence. So I thank you, and I don't mean that like a prison sentence. Story sentence. Bing. Just like that. Listen, you all, get out there today and every day. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you Monday morning. Again, Jesse T will be my guest. But in between point A, which is where we're at, and point B, which is everything beyond where we're at, do this. Understand that you're already great. You're already wonderful. You're already kind. You're already smart. Find in one E, find in one R, everything that is yours, your birthrights. Scoot them over to you as close as you can. And take everything you are, take great to greater, bright to brighter, strong to stronger, bold to bolder. I'm Lauren Michaels Harris. I'll see you Monday morning, God willing, right out front on the front porch, where we'll do this all again. We'll meet for our next installment. Say goodbye, Scott, to everybody. I want you to have the last word. I really do.
Goodbye, beautiful humans, and more importantly, beautiful spirits. And the infinitely possible is yours because it's you.
Let's go. I'll see you guys. Let's go. We're going to do this thing. See you guys Monday. Get out there and be great and be even greater to someone else. I love you. See you soon.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.